Hey guys, welcome to Coding with Chris. I am Chris. Why the show is named that. Anyway, yeah, so I'm excited. I am officially kicking off Dragon Ruby month here at RDDS. So we're going to kick it off today, and then Thursday we're going to start the guest portions. Every Thursday we're going to have a different guest on during the month to talk on cool stuff. And we're going to kick it off today. So today I actually have an agenda. This isn't just me wildly flailing at code and thinking out loud. What I want to do is, we had some talks yesterday in the Discord channel about FPS and render targets and stuff. What I want to do is work on getting the map screen, the world map screen, back up to 60 FPS, because right now it's god awful. So we're gonna do that with some with fibers and some with digging into render targets and understanding those a little bit better, because I still think I'm missing a trick there somewhere. Anyway, so let me answer accidents here and see. He's asked me a question. There we go. All right, so let's see where we're starting from so that we can see how we make improvements. Now, what's weird here, what I've noticed on this main menu screen, it makes these buttons, and I've still got huge fluctuations in my FPS here. So I don't understand that, because if the buttons are just sitting here, what the hell is it doing? So I've done some looking at that, and it does the create buttons. It only creates the buttons once. So, you know, it loops through these. But then every tick, it goes through and sets the primitives and does the try main menu click for each of those buttons. So I know for a fact that headroom is somewhere in here. But I tried doing setting this to static primitives only once on the tick count 0, and that actually was worse for some reason. Doesn't make intuitive sense to me, but it apparently is. So I don't understand exactly what's going on there, but that isn't that bad, and eventually it stabilizes. So at some point it gets caught up, it seems like, and stabilizes here. I don't get it. But anyway, that's part of that. I think will be solved by me understanding better about the render targets and stuff. But that's not where the big stuff is. The big stuff is here. So when I click new game, this comes up reasonably fast. Most of the time when I do this, and this is because I let the main menu sit and stabilize for a while, but most of the time when I do this, this goes down into the 30s. So I don't understand what's going on behind the scenes really. But let's start this again so we can see. All right, so if I go new game now while this thing's still plugging along there, you see this is just nasty. I mean, we're at half the FPS, and it's not actually doing anything right now other than the rendering. Like all the calculations should be done at this point. So let's walk through what we've got going on here. So the world map scene, in its tick, when it comes up, it sets this world map generated thing and then does the setup until world map generated is true. So it should only do it the first time. I could also check if the tick count is 0 here, but I don't. I'm not entirely sold on that idea. Is everything streaming where it should be? Yeah, okay. Like it's okay. Thought I was having a problem there. So anyway, and then we assign this world map sprite, and I've commented the rest of this stuff out for now because I just, so, you know, all the clicking and stuff it's not doing because, hey Levi, what's going on? Hey, did you upload your stuff? Told you I would pester you. Awesome. You're the best, Levi. All right, so I've commented this out because it's not important for our tests right now. I don't need to know this, and I don't need it in the way taking up cycles. You have no clue what is broken. That's... Well, that's... Welcome to my world. That's kind of like my perpetual state of being. All right, so we get into the setup and we initialize this. We set this to true so that it only goes through this once, and then the next tick it comes through, it won't call this again, right? So then the load world does the world and it generates the world map. This is the thing that actually does all of the array building, the Perlin noise looping and array building and all that stuff for the tiles. And then we call set render target. And the set render target is here in the base scene. So this is just adding to the module, but because both the play map and the world scene use this call, I put it up here in kind of a base scene thing. So the set render target, you know, just sets the primitives that we're passing in and sets the width and the height. Pretty simplistic. And if you look at, did I do it in here? I'll have to do it again. But anyway, I think I've pretty much, I think I confirmed, but we'll do it again, that this only gets called once, right? So I'm not constantly calling this. So the only other thing it will do then is every tick assign world map sprite. And that is down here. So it just sets the world maps sprites. It creates this, though I think I could just do this once, right? I don't need to do this every tick. Though I can't imagine that taking a whole lot of overhead. But then it just assigns the sprites. If I don't do this every tick, I'm such a dumbass. Why? What'd you do, Levi? You forget a period or a semicolon or something somewhere? That's always my problem. I spend 4 hours looking for a stupid period. Oh, it's worse. Worse than that, huh? Oh, God. Ordering. Oh. Yeah, I do that all the time, too. So one thing, so we're going to make slow incremental changes to see how things come up. But first I want to make sure that I'm only calling that thing once. So if I go new game, all right, set render target called, it just calls it once and that's it. All right. So I know I'm not doing that multiple times, which is good. So I'm doing this every tick. It's a consuming parser. Oh no, he's perfectly fine, Levi. I like whatever helps everybody. Consuming parser. What do you mean? What are you asking, man? About the JSON stuff? Oh, yeah, I'm pretty sure rule ordering is a thing. I think oh. Yeah, that's don't think that's going to work very well. Yeah. Then well, I mean, if you put an or between those, if it's an operative or, yeah, then I think it's first one wins. Yeah, because first one wins, because you're basically going to short circuit that. Because with an or, if the first one is true, the whole statement is true, so it doesn't evaluate the second one. Right? Yeah, I think you're correct, Levi. I mean, without seeing the whole thing and the context, I can't be 100% sure, but and I know you're an optimization nut, so I'm glad you're here. So once you get your stream of consciousness all wrapped up there, I'm gonna be bugging you for optimization thing. So this, I think I can actually move this because I only need to do that once. I mean, once that's set, I'm not changing it anymore. Yeah, because we got rid of those buttons, so I don't need to change that every time. So we do the load in the setup, we do the load world, and then we can do that. And I think I'm going to get rid of this selected layer stuff because it's just not necessary anymore. And this should just be world here. No, it should be world map. Where did I go? Hey, sire, what's happening? Yep, get rid of that, and that we're not going to use anymore. So I think this still actually works. I don't really think that's going to help us much, but it makes my brain happier. So, oh yeah, that didn't help at all. All right, so we're still in the same crappy place, but yeah, I don't need to do this. So the assign world map sprite, since this is just one line now, what are fibers? They are well, it's kind of like a thread, but it's not, it's kind of like a coroutine almost, would maybe be the best analogy I can think of off the top of my head. It's like I send it to do some code in a loop, and then I can say, okay, pause and go do other stuff, and then come back here when I tell you to resume. So that I don't have a big long loop that takes up, you know, all of the tick overhead for many ticks, and then, you know, I can say, okay, do a little bit and then give it back to the tick, and then come back here and do a little bit more and then give it back to the tick, right? So it can keep up with itself. So now that this is just one line, I don't think I need to make this a method anymore, because calling a method actually has some... Now, again, I don't think that this is really going to have any particular huge impact, but every method you call is overhead. Oh, good. Well, I mean, Levi, while you're in there, just fix all the bugs and make it perfect, right? All right, so let's see where we're at here. All right, I mean, same place performance-wise, but we haven't broken anything. Yeah, if only. I know, right? so yeah, I'm just not gonna do a, we'll just let this sit here like this. There's no reason to pull that out to a method. That's just context switching. That doesn't need to happen. Okay, so what we're gonna have to do to get our first improvement, I think, is I need to implement some fibers. Well, I want to implement fibers because I want to learn about them, right? So what I got to do is we got to find out what we want to fiberize. So what we want to fiberize is, I think in here, yeah, this generate map. So this is the loop that's, you know, going through the array and doing all of the stuff. So we also have these Perlin maps. So yeah, because each of these is a loop as well, right? Because create Perlin map, where the hell is that? The noise new is a map of yeah, here it is. So we're actually rolling through all of these arrays here too. So what I need to do is where this is getting called, the base of this. So this calls from world. World calls generate world map, which calls accesses map, and this internally calls those loops. So this is kind of where we're starting from. So what I want to do, I think, is say map fiber. Yeah. Fiber.new do, and then we put all this crap in there. Right? All right, so this is inside of fiber now. And then what I want to do is I want to say, I don't really know that I need to do this, because all right, so in my generic map, no, not my generic map, I want my world map. Yeah, this is where I'm doing all this crazy crap. So each one of these, well, let's just start at the outside. Okay, so let's say fiber dot yield. So we'll let it do all of the Y's for each X, and at each X we're going to yield back to the main thread, right? So I've gotten into my fiber, it comes down through here, it does this stuff, it goes through one loop and it says, okay, yield back to the thread. And then I've got to call resume in my tick. And I want to do that in here, I think. And I need to, all right, so I do, let's do it in the load world. So I do fiber.resume. I think this is how this works. I'm learning here, but I think this is how this works. Now, the one thing I have to do though is I can't do this here, because otherwise it'll only ever hit this once and we won't get very far. So what I have to do is say, I think fiber resume can return a value. So what I want to do is I want to say this equals that, and then I need, when I do the yield, I need to yield back a value that tells me whether I'm finished or not. Right, so I want to yield that X is greater than or equal to width, right? All right, so I think that's all good, but let's see what we got here. If I do new game, I broke the crap out of it. Resume doesn't exist on class. What? Did I use the wrong word there? Let me look up the syntax again. Ruby fiber. We did the fiber dot. Oh, so we got, oh, balls. All right, so I can't do it exactly where I wanted to do it. Where I need to do it is, instead of here, right, I need to do it in here. So we do that. Oops. And then we do old fiber dot resume here. Right, and then we got to assign this to that. What's your problem? Yeah, okay. All right. So did that fix it? Let's see. Well, okay, it did something. But now we've got a problem where, so I think the fibers are actually working right, but what's happening is I'm getting into the assigning of the render target too soon. So I can't do let's see. I can't do this unless we're done. So if need that, I need, so once my world is generated, then I can do that, right? Step away. Funny, sire. Fibers are kind of like coroutines. So I can say, all right, let's set up a fiber here around this stuff. And then in this stuff, this is inside what I put the fiber block around. I can say, okay, yield with this value. That means stop what you're doing, put a bookmark here, and go back to the main thread. And then the main thread, I can say, okay, when I come back through here, now you can resume, pick up where you left off until you yield again. So basically what it's doing is it's passing control back and forth. But I have control over when that happens because I call yield and resume myself. Right? So, let's see what, oh shit. I still got, something's goofy. I didn't do something right here. Well, let me do this. Let's just test. Let's just pass back X and print that out, right? so I can see where I am. So here we want to put... So I should be able to see all the X's coming through, right? No, I've dicked something up somewhere. All right, what have I done here? All right, let's put see what we're doing. Right, okay. Okay, so I'm at a point where I've got my map here, so it's just the fibers that are problematic. All right, so... Oh, well, I mean, it do, yeah, fiber new do. Right, yeah. Yeah. So I do that. Oh, you set up the command R? Yeah, I should probably do that. But yeah. Let's see. So it still should be going through the generate world map. All right, let's just see if I wrap a fiber around that, but don't actually do anything with the fiber. Am I still getting what I need to get? No. What? The method sprites doesn't exist on new. I think you're confused. One of us is confused. World RB 45. Oh. Oh. Well, if I never tell the fiber to yield, right? Because I took the yields out. So it should just go in forever. I mean, not forever, but until it's done. It shouldn't act any differently. I wouldn't think. We're going to figure this crap out. Okay, so that's working just fine. So if I do resume, do I need to resume first? No. Sugarfoot. Oh, it's because I'm doing the hold on. It's because I'm doing this. Before this is actually generated. Huh. Well, but that shouldn't matter because this... What? I'm not understanding something here. So if I do... Well, yeah, there is no new RT. this is the same RT. So if I just do this without the fiber, right? I'm not changing any logic here. I'm just taking the fiber block out. Then I get my map. So all of that stuff seems to be fine, right? But this sucks. So what I need to do, and yeah, I constantly get these messages. So, because my FPS tanks. So, what's got me baffled though is if I do this fiber thing, right? I just put the fiber block there, but I'm still running the same code. Why is it? Because I'm never yielding back in this fiber. It just basically I've created a fiber. What if I just do make sure that it's still pumping? No, why are you going there? I don't understand. Kind of, yeah, I would say it's more akin to a coroutine than a thread, but because threads are kind of autonomous backroom code blocks, this is something I have, and it doesn't run at the same time. It's not like I can say, hey, go run your stuff while I'm running this. It's go run this, then come back and run some of this, then go run some of this, right? So I'm doing the trade-offs that the chip would do on threads, but I'm doing those manually. So kind of. But why? Oh, cool, Levi. Well, good. I'm glad you got that sorted. Levi, how much do you know about fibers? Are you the fiber master? Or is that, O'Karen? Because I would think... And nuts. Okay, well... So I'm... Keyboard's hard. I would think... Because if I just take this block out, right? If I were to just comment this out, this all works fine. But putting this block in, it blows up. And I think it's because it never actually runs this thing. But even if I put the resume in here, right, let's look at the fiber stuff. I hate these contrived examples for things. Well, I wasn't trying to, but I mean, okay, I wasn't wanting to, but I'm just trying to get this to work. Oh, hit you. Where's the dark mode? I don't even know where that is in Chrome. I don't want all that bullshit. Just give me dark mode, you bastard. Quick settings, that's what I... There we go. Better? All happy now? You don't have to wear sunglasses when you watch my stream anymore. All right, so, okay, maybe you're right. Maybe I just need to pull this out of... We'll take that win. Damn it, Levi. Look at you being smart and stuff. All right, so now, I don't know why I was... Am I already too tired to be functional? All right, so now, let's get rid of that. And we only want to do that if the fiber is finished. Well, I know, I was testing. I'm going to do a yield. Ta-da. Woke up at 5 and could go back to sleep. Yeah, I know that feeling. Sucks. Alright, let's see here. Does this work, first of all? Not quite. Oh, that's gross. What the hell? Extra shit on them. All right, so yeah, I know this isn't better, but it's not working right. See, I should be coming through here. All right, let's see something here. I should get a bunch of false. Right, yeah, because I'm defaulting to false. And I do the setup unless that's true. That means this is going to be pumping. Oh, yeah, that's not going to work. This is not. Oh. First of all, let's make sure that has something. Yeah, I've got to change my logic a bit here, because the first time I roll through this, it's going to come back to my next tick, and this is not going to be true, so it's going to pop the setup again. We don't want that. So we want... I think we only want this if on tick 0, but now shit, but then if I only do it on tick 0, it won't call the resume, so I got to do this up in the actual tick. I can't do it inside of here, right? Well, that's what we may end up having to do, but I think all we need to do here is oh, is fiber dead a thing? I mean, I only ever want that firing the first time, right? Well, let's find out. Let's see about fiber.dead. That's a thing that seems reasonable. I know you get a dead fiber called if you call resume and it's already done, then it's a dead fiber, but I don't know how to find out if it's a dead fiber. Alive? Okay. It's the opposite, but good thinking. All right, so what I need is if it's not alive, then I'm generated. So I don't actually have to pass back stuff in the yield and check the stuff in the yield. I can just yield. Right? So that's simpler. Yeah, it looks like I don't see a dead, but I see an alive, which is fine. I'm down with that. Works just as well. World map scene, this is where we are. All right, so my map generated is terrible pun. You're punny, Levi. So I know my map is generated when the fiber is no longer alive. I hate doing knots, but I don't have a dead, so we'll go with that. Not world fiber alive. Yeah, this, right? Am I missing something? Or are you guys just being goofy? Or is it just the delay catching up here?
Gotcha. That freaking medic's a spy.
Oh. Patch up the fiber. Oh. Yeah, I could. I could also, you know, stick a fork in my eye. Just because you can do something doesn't mean it's a good idea. Let's see. So I don't actually need to do that because, and I can't do this. Oh, yeah, you can do it. I could patch that, monkey patch it, and add a dead thing method, but I don't particularly want to. Here's the problem, though. I don't think I can do this. I don't think. Yeah, that's not a class level. So what I have to do is you're so confused. I'm sorry. Am I going too fast? All right, hold on. We'll go through it and explain a rate. So what I want to do, so I'm in my tick, right? Can you not call resume on fibers more than the number of yields it has? Yeah, what happens is when this loop finishes, if I were to call resume again, I will get back an error that says something to the effect of dead fiber called. Because as soon as the last one of these happens and it finishes up, it makes the fiber dead. So you can't resume it anymore. And it will actually error out. So I need to know if it's alive. That's fine, because as long as I have a way to tell, then I know when I'm done processing. And I just keep going until the fiber says, okay, I'm done. So I think this will work. Yeah, so you can, okay, so it's actually doing the fibering now. because you can see it going back. It's getting its ticks back, so it's climbing back up to 60 FPS. The problem is this is going to take a lot longer because it has to stop. It's not just doing it all in one fast loop. But I still have some issues because something isn't coming back. So let's see if we can get a count of, or a look at what it's doing. So let us, I think it will work. Yeah. Where did I put the resume? What did I, what? Oh. What? Did I not? Oh, I'm so dumb. Okay, now let's put that out and see if we get what we think we're going to get when we get it. Yep. Resume method missing on class. That's not a class, you dillweed. What? Oh. Because the first time it came through here, that's a nil, and doing nil.resume don't work. Right? Okay. Well, something's dicked. Maybe I... Yeah, 60 FPS for a blank screen. Ta-da! All right, let's simplify here. Let's bum bum ba bum bum. Right, okay, now let us do what Levi, what did I do? I know I'm being stupid. See that, see that. What's happening here is me dicking up code. What do you mean what's happening here? Isn't that what happens every Tuesday? Staring very hard at what stupid thing I've done. All right, let's think this through. So on tick 0, I call load world, right? The idea of fibers. All right, so what the problem I'm running into, right, is that this loop that generates the map arrays is big, takes way longer than a tick, right? So what I'm trying to do with the fibers is to split that up so that the tick can go process a bit of that loop, then come back and do the tick. And go back and continue the loop and come back, and so that it doesn't, you know, get behind itself. Okay. So I'm fibering this, which is where all the loops are. All the loops are inside this thing. Right? Okay, you get what I want to do. But I've screwed up the how to do it. Right. So I gen my fiber here. Inside here, I'm calling the yield. And then I'm going to resume the fiber here. All right, and the yield, I'm passing back. Yeah, I'm passing back the X on the yield, so I should get some output here. Except if, except I think the resume is only going to get called once in this case, right? Right, I think so. Nope, the resume is never getting. Well, no, that's why, because this is count 0. So that's why I was putting this here. Right? So that that would get called every tick. Hold on. I may be making this more complicated than it be, which is, you know, something I do all the time. Yeah, it would call it, yes. Correct. That's why I'm setting this world map generated so that I can stop it from doing that. But here's yeah. So if I do that, and then I'm calling load world when, let's get this shit out of the way, is garbage. Only get one world farmer resume call. Well, yes, because I was only calling because I was only calling this load world on the first tick, but I'm going to change that. I'm going to call it until world map generated is true. Right? So let's call the resume. What did you miss? You missed me blathering like an idiot. So nothing new? So what I'm doing is I'm going to, instead of this, we're going to check on this. So I'm going to keep calling that setup until so we initialized false. It'll go through and it'll get into the setup and it'll keep calling this until I'm done with the loop. So it'll just keep going through here. And we'll set the render target only if I'm gonna put this back up in the tick. I'm gonna get rid of this. All right, so we initialize this marker to false. We call the setup unless that's true. We set the render target only if that's true. So once we've finished, right? Why not just call that that? Now there isn't a world var in world map. What? There is. World map tick is going to error. I think. Does this. Ah. Okay. Problem solved. Good catch. Gotcha. Actually, there's no real point to doing this either. That's just causing more issues. So let's simplify. Okay, so I want to put that out and make sure that it's actually running because I'm passing back the X value. All right, let's just see where we're at here. Okay, so I'm getting the X's, but I'm assigning this too soon. And the X's are always 0. That's not correct. Why would that be the case? Fiber. You're right, because I'm a dummy. Thank you. This is why I live stream this stuff. Okay, so now we're getting the X's back, but I'm assigning the target too early. But let's just see what happens when it's done. Okay, look at that. And we still got crappy FPS. But we're setting the render target every bloody frame. So that's probably not good, right? Okay, so we've actually got this working for the most part. Although, I mean, where am I doing the... Also, I'm creating the world map sprite every setup. Oh, yeah. And I actually don't need to do that either. All right, so now I know when the... I'm tracking when the map is completed. I'm assigning the world map sprite once it's completed, but the problem is I don't want to be... I only want to do... where is it? What the hell? Base scene. So I should be calling set render target in here somewhere. Oh, it's right there in front of me. All right, so it starts calling that once the map is generated, which is good, but I only want it to do that once. Right? Because right now it's doing it every tick now, which I suspect is probably not good for the FPS. But we took out that puts, so let's see where we're at now. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to track 2 bools. All right, so it's still very crappy. And it just gets worse. Again, I'm doing puts, but... But I think we got the fibers working right. So what I want to do is map, like have a map displayed boolean. What is set render target set? It just sets literally a render target. Sets the primitives on the target. But what I need to do is, if my target name primitives has a value, then I don't need to set it again, right? Let me see if this works. Not quite what? Is primitives nil by default? You're finally here, sir. You're a real person now. You weren't for the first hour of this stream, but now you are. Yeah, I'm a real boy. Crap. Okay, so when you access args, so the first time it creates a new render target, but is primitives nil at that point? Does primitives default to nil? Shoot. Oh, it's just an array. Oh, yeah, it's an array. Oh, okay. Then that. Yeah, you like the... I think arrays have empty, don't they? Yeah. So I just want to return here if that's empty, because I haven't put anything in it yet. Just run it and check. Why? Please. Okay. I mean, I don't like this, but we'll get there. Oh. What did I do? Did it ever call that? No. Because it's empty by default, you never get a chance to go past the return. Yeah, so it's never gonna put... Oh, yeah. Well, Shazbot. Oh. Now I'm tracking. I'm tracking you, Levi. Holy crap! I gotta stop doing these things so late in the afternoon. I'm too damn tired to think straight. Well, actually, we prefer this. So, yeah, I had that bass backwards. There we go. Oh, God! But it's still... Gold star for trying. Yeah, but it's still setting the... still calling that multiple times. Why is that? So after the first time, this should no longer be empty, so I should never call this again, right? I don't understand. Concat instead of shovel here. Why is concat faster? Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I'm all for faster. All right, let's find out what we've got here when we go in here. I should get 1 nil, and then I technically should never get it again, but gotcha. Still not understanding this horse crap, but we'll get there. It's never... My primitives is always empty. What? How is that a thing? What? If it's empty, then how the hell am I getting... What? Oh my god, did I... Is that all because I didn't save that? No, that can't be right. Try that again. When you access it for the first time in a tick, it gets cleared? Oh, balls. So I'd have to do static primitives for that to work. Ah. Which I don't want to use static primitive. Well, do I? There. Oh. So this is not the way to do this then, is what you're telling me. Well, let's just do a test, just for the sake of knowledge. Right? Does that look correct? We'll find out. I have low hope of it working, but you know, let's just see. Yeah, that doesn't seem to do any damn thing. In fact, it seems to, as I found out with the main menu, actually make things worse. All right, so this is not anything that's going to be helpful. So let's do this. Args. And then I need to frickin' spam. All right, so, and then I want to, I mean, technically that should always default to false, but let's be explicit here. Yeah. Well, yeah, true. And if it was nil, then this would still be false. But I'd rather just be explicit. Right? Everybody on board with it being explicit? Unless Samir gets his... Yeah, that's the other thing is don't ever assume that nothing changes. I have to fix this crap too, but we'll get there. Oh. 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 I took the puts out of there, didn't I? Check. I knew that. Still have crappy FPS, but I don't have that problem anymore. All right. Now, why do I still have crappy FPS? That is my big... I don't understand. So how do I get this to be a white screen, first of all? What do you mean that's not going to work? Why is that not going to work, sire? What if I create a different render target? I'm not gonna create a different render. Oh, ooh. Well, in the world map scene, I only have the one target, but in the play map scene, I actually have two. One for the map and one for the sprites. So yeah, that may be problematic, but let's one problem at a time here. We'll burn that bridge when we stand on it. So I still don't understand why I got... I mean, I guess I could. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's better. Don't shovel in an each. Am I doing that? Hey! Oh, that color is bad on my side. This chat colored your name very badly. Itan Futuro. Sure, I butchered that. Well, I will unless I do this. No. Not an array. The hash. Right, so then that should be okay. I think. Let's see. Find out. Son of a bitch. I gotta quit cleaning up code so early. All right, let's see here. Okay, that works. Did the thing one time. Still crappy FPS. So, good shout, sire. I like it. All right, so in my world map scene, you say I am doing some shoveling in an each. I call bullshit. Oh, probably in the world map. Oh yeah, I was doing that in the main menu scene. Yes, correct. Yeah, there's some stuff I need to unscrew here too. But you're saying I should do a concat here. No. No what? Oh, here, do a map. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I'll get to that because I want to fix that main menu scene too. That's driving me nuts. That thing should just sit at 60. But this is the bigger problem. Why am I getting such a horrible frame rate here? So, I mean, this is happening quite a bit. Well, yeah, but it's actually progressively getting worse there. On the main menu screen, this will eventually catch up, right? And it'll eventually, if I leave it here for 3 or 4 minutes, it'll sit at 60 because you can see it's starting a little bit higher every time. But this one, I need to fix this thing, but this seems to get progressively worse. See? So I've got something going on in here that's just not cool. And I don't understand what it is. So I'm trying to figure out what I should look at. Yeah, right. I mean, obviously I've got a loop in here somewhere that's going banana crap and it's just loading stuff up somehow. But I thought the fibers were getting rid of that. Because the only loops I should have, I have no collision checks, as far as I know. I certainly didn't do any on purpose, so unless there's something ancillary in there. Yeah, I've got no collision. In fact, I commented out all this stuff so none of the button clicking or any of that mess would get in the way of trying to figure this out. So none of that's happening. The only thing that's happening, as far as I could tell, is the map generation. So something in here is goofy. Not in there, but so none of that stuff is happening. Right, so the load world goes and it's doing the fiber, but once it's done, it's out. Right? That doesn't keep going. The setup happens until the fiber is done. So this gets done quite a few times, but is that shouldn't be a problem, right? It's a rolling window from the beginning. Well, okay. I get that. So it's got a window and it's moving, but the problem I'm seeing, like on the main menu screen, that moves forward and eventually gets to 60, right? With the map screen, it starts moving backwards and it gets progressively worse. Is it taking an average across that whole thing? Is it a rolling window or an expanding window? Been a while. Well, but still, oh, so it's expanding. Okay, so, but still, it shouldn't get progressively worse if it's just sitting there. Something has to be happening to make it worse, right? At this point, the only thing that should be happening is this code, because this is the tick. Once the setup, once that map is generated, this shouldn't happen anymore, right? We'll skip that. The set render target shouldn't happen anymore. Now, technically it'll call that method, so I mean, there's a bit of overhead to calling the method, but that shouldn't be progressively worse, right? And then you got the frame rate. Let's see here. Let's pull this over here and take a peeky peek at what we're looking at. Okay, take me a while to get my brain. Yeah, so that's the counter code. Okay, so that's just that. R 60 and then a rescue of 60. So the default stuff is 60, which is fine. Okay. Yeah, so unless something is happening in the background, that shouldn't be getting slower. It should actually be getting faster because it should be catching up. So something is happening that I don't know is happening. Now, how am I going to track that down? Is this happening over and over going to be a... Well, no. That shouldn't be a problem. Is that why I'm getting the checkerboard those? Because of that if statement? Nope. That's not why. Although I don't really think that if statement was doing anything. But see, the FPS here, well, doesn't seem to be getting worse now. Yeah, there's no sprite. But how can I make that just white instead of checkerboard? I don't want to assign a sprite until touch the render target. Okay. And where should I do that? Should I? I don't want to do a white solid because as long as I don't. Hold on a sec. So that, you say? Oh. So what, you just call it? Naked call? I mean, Ruby has a touch method. Seems like that's enough. All right. We got that problem fixed. This is driving me nuts, though. I mean, I think we're marginally better with the fibers, but I don't think that that's as far as we want to be. Something is hosed. Oh, ooh, hey, all right now. Well, I guess we want to do that. Outputs world map. So not the render target. That's not what wants transient. What wants transient? This? No. No, what? Oh, don't use transient. Why? But this tells me. Although, rendering a non-transient render target multiple frames in a row. Why is that happening? Oh, because of this. Because I'm doing that. Yeah, so that's why that started. So that's not necessarily a... You know what? Let's just right, should still work. Does not still work. Why the hell not? Go and set up like that. Do I have to touch it every time until... Oh, because you said the render target gets fudge muffins. All right, I get it now, but I don't like it. I don't like seeing that yellow crap in my log. Boo. Okay, but that's still gross. I don't get it. I don't understand what can be happening here that's causing the frame rates to piss all over themselves so badly. Yeah, we do need a mirror. Well, I mean, not in here. The only loop that I've got, I mean, yes, there's lots of fun loops, but that's what we just took care of with the fibers, right? The only loops are inside here. Yeah, kind of what I'm feeling like. But no, I mean, see the tick. So these are not looped. I mean, that's just a setting, right? The setup, once we get to world map generated, it stops calling this, right? to set render target only if, so it doesn't start calling that until after, but then we've verified that that only gets called once because of this, right? So we check that out, and then it does this. So that's the only thing that's happening over and over. So I don't get it. Unless, hold on. Maybe this is still too far. Maybe I need to do it for every X and Y, although that's going to make it take god-awful amount of time to render, but... Chat, is you dead? No? Still seeing chat. Are you seeing chat? Oh, were you having a dead chat? Well, let's see what that does. Range each in the map gen method. You mean down in the bowels there? These things. I mean, they're not that bad, but even still, if I'm doing the fibers, okay, that just means it's gonna take. Yeah, I know you don't like the each. But A, this isn't that many width and height. It's not that big. And B, if I'm doing the fibers, that should negate any real impacts of that, right, on any particular tick. But let's move it up inside this loop and just see what it does. And yeah, I mean, we can fix this, but I want to understand it, because now this is going to take a while. But hey, we're getting into the 50s here, so that's pretty decent. What that means is that every tick, yeah, it's going to take forever. But every tick has got enough headroom to catch up with itself, right? Because it's catching up. Yeah, and honestly, one of the things that I really would like to do... Oh, holy crap. These don't have any yields in them. And each of these is a loop. Because each of these calls, it's generating this Perlin map. Yeah, sire, I was just kind of thinking that too. Like, do it every 10 or something. But should I yield in these? Yeah, I should. Fiber yield there. And let's put this back to the X, just to see if that's enough. Yeah, because each one of these calls that Perlin loop. So I'd want to yield in each one of these and then yield here. That may be enough. Well, it depends on how big this is. So I'll have to see. I misspelled what, yield? Did I? I did. Fine, it should just know what I'm talking about, right? All right, so we're pushing the 60 here, so we're good. We're kind of pretty stable. And this is going to take a bit, but holy hell. Well, that's already looking better. That's better. Still getting worse, though, as we sit here. But it's better. All right, so let's... I can always open the class. Boo. What do you mean? What are you talking about, Levi? Help me, man. Help me understand. Ever increasing FPS average window. Yeah, except mine's ever decreasing. If we watch this FPS for a hot second, that was pretty quick coming up. It gets progressively worse. Like now it's hitting 45. So what the hell? Well, yeah, but... Well, then that's a bad way to do the FPS counting, I think. Probably not. I'm probably misunderstanding because these are smart people doing this stuff. Yell at Amir. I don't know. I may have to get him on here to pair with me on this and see if we can figure it out, because it's gross. I mean, this is definitely better than where we started, right? Certainly much, much better. So I'm happy about that. Also, I basically understand fibers now, which was one of my big goals, is just learning those things. But if I make this map any bigger, it's gonna puke. I don't know. Let's see. Let's make the map bigger. Let's just do because, right? Steady 46 FPS. I know, but at least it's steady, and that's better than where we started. But I want to see, because in theory, that should just completely barf. Right? It's going to take a little while to get there. But... oh, yeah. Once this map actually paints, it's going to be bad. Yeah. Dragon Ruby's already screaming at me. Look. Oh, God. I better shut this down before I can't use my computer anymore because it's getting ready to puke. So, I mean, I should be able to get to a point where I can do that. But what the hell is going on in the background that's... I don't understand. The only thing I can think is that it is still trying to do all these maps and hasn't actually caught up yet. But that can't be true, because at the point that we see the map, because of the fibers, all those loops have to be done, because we don't show the map until everything's done. So there shouldn't be any more loops going on. So what the hell's happening? I am so confused. Chat. I think what's going to need to happen is I'm going to need to get Amir on here to pair with me on this and explain to me how the hell this works. I don't know. What was your last message? Add in all the interactive stuff? No. I don't think the interactive stuff is going to be a thing right now. I mean, We could try it. I'll give it a shot. Where's my nasty? For you to not have anything to complain about. All right, Levi. The transient stuff. Well, I'm not terribly well. All right, let's do both experiments. We'll do both here. First off, let's do the transient because that's really easy to, I think. It is the. Is it? This is what I want to set. No, not the render target. What? Where's that yellow crap? Now, Levi, I know you said don't. Oh, it is the render target. So I just want to set that. Is that how it works? Okay. Well, I mean, at least I feel a little better about actually doing something with this instead of just. Hi, world map. I don't really expect that to have a huge effect, but let's see what it do. Well, it got rid of that yellow garbage. Is there any adverse effects to having that transient on there? Also, what if no, we tried the static primitives and that was gross. Yeah. Oh, if I resize, it'll disappear. Let us find right out. But only on Windows? So here I shouldn't have a problem saying, but if I did this on Windows, it would. Okay, well, that doesn't seem to be helping at all, so I'm going to take it out because in case there's a bad part. DirectX. All right, well, let's see what we can do with this. All right, so you don't like the each here. That's okay, DirectX can be stupid. Wait, no, this is not where you were talking about doing that. You were talking about doing that. Over here. Doing a map. Except what's this got to do with the map screen? This is, I mean, the main menu scene. This shouldn't be firing while that's going off, right? What? Levi, I am not tracking you, man. Where are you talking about? Are you talking about in the main menu or in the map generation loop? How do I want to do this? Oh, the each is in the map gen. So here. I mean, nifty, but what would I do with them? Because I can't map this. Right? Oh, into wild. Oh. I don't like wild loops. They're ugly. Whole lot faster? All right. Wow. Then stop that. Want less than or equal? Less than. I want that too. And then oh, damn it. Here I've got that. Right, you all good with that, Levi? Does that look right? Okay. Let's see where we're at. Oh, that is severely screwed up. Calm yourself. So I mean, yeah, seems like it started a little faster. We still have this problem where it's progressively getting worse though, which I don't understand. It's not doing anything, so what the hell's getting worse? I don't know. How can that be? I mean, I guess it would have to. No, it's not a peb key problem. It could be an ID10T problem though. I mean, I'm good with this. This, you know, if this saves us some time. The other thing I want to do is, now that I've got the pro version, I want to see about pulling in the C version of the Perlin noise rather than the Ruby version. But I don't want to get there quite yet. C extensions. Yeah, for the Perlin stuff. I think that's the next place I'm gonna have to go. But I still don't understand. It doesn't make any sense to me. Once that map is rendered, no, we were doing it in Ruby, but there is a C library out there for Perlin noise with a Ruby wrapper on it. So I want to try pulling that in. There's a C extension for Perlin noise. And it's supposed to be pretty well optimized from what I've read, but be that as it may, once the world map is displayed, my FPS shouldn't be getting progressively worse. I don't understand why that's... How do I reset the... Okay, well, I don't know. Let's give it a shot and see what happens. If you can give me the command to reset it. I don't know what that is. Where, huh? Do. I mean, okay. That's just too cryptic. So I should be able to do... Is that it? Nope. Yeah, this is an ID10T problem. Oops. Yeah, well, I mean, it's getting progressively worse still. It reset, but yeah. Exactly. How? There's nothing happening right now except for the displaying of the sprite. But we've got that in a render target. It's as optimized as it can be, because at that point it's just one sprite, right? That it's just got to paint. So what the hell? And I don't even know how to look to see what it's doing. There's got to be... I'm gonna have to figure out some kind of debugging to... Ooh. I wonder if Palantir would help here. I stopped displaying... Well, I don't know. Let's find out. So if I just don't do that, right? And don't do that. Well, actually, this doesn't make any difference. It's this that I want to stop, right? Okay, so now is when it's going through all the loops and stuff. It should be done by now. I probably should have put a puts in there to know when we're actually done. No, it doesn't look like it's getting better. I mean, it's definitely done by now. Yeah, so, I mean, there's something else going on. It's not the sprite being displayed. I didn't think it was. I mean, that's pretty basic. But I don't, at this point, I don't know how to figure out what's going on that would be causing this. You see it. This is tick. This is it. This, I mean, we went through it. There's nothing happening. Oh, the main tick. Well, these I don't need to do. That only happens once. Handle input and select scene, so not much. So this is just the frame rate label. I mean, I can't imagine that that's having a huge effect. If it does, then there's big problems. So this is just assigning a default state, but that's just once. This, I mean, that shouldn't be a big deal, right? And then this is just where we're sending the tick off to whichever scene it is. Not much there, right? Am I missing something? So there's just not much going on. Set the scene only if it's different than current. I mean, okay, do that. This better. I don't like knots. Just hard to read. You think, oh yeah, because then you got to check an if statement. Actually. Yeah, setting a variable is much faster than checking an if. Evaluating an if. Right, exactly. So, I mean, I don't feel like I'm just being stupid here. I mean, we can shits and giggles it, sure. I mean, you guys aren't seeing anything jump out at you that looks like it should be causing this problem, do you? Because I'm not seeing it. I think I may have to pose this to the bigger community, because somebody out there has got to understand this, but it ain't me. Yeah, that's not making any kind of difference, really. A fine idea, but it didn't do anything. I don't know. I am very, very confused here. Unless yeah, I mean, I don't understand what could possibly be going on. But honestly, in the main menu scene, I don't understand why that one's getting so behind either. Like, if I go just pulling this up, I mean, what's this all about? What the hell is it doing? That doesn't seem reasonable. There's nothing going on. I mean, you saw the... it's reasonably well. Okay, first of all, I'm running inside a virtual machine. I'm on a Windows host running a Linux virtual machine. Oh, so you think this is just the integer division stuff because of the length of... Right, okay, gotcha. Yeah, because eventually this just sits at 60. Yeah, and I'm streaming and stuff, but I've done this experiment. I was doing this experiment yesterday without streaming. So, not to mention the fact I'm on an RTX chip, so most of the video rendering is happening on the RTX. RTX has a separate chip for that, so it's not really coming into play here. Yeah, I've actually got a pretty beefy machine because I used to do a lot of game streaming, and I play a lot of heavy-duty AAA games on this thing, and it doesn't break a sweat. So I don't think we've got a hardware problem here, unless for some reason I've got too much limit on the virtual machine. But I don't think so. I made this one fairly beefy too. Where's my... Just checking the settings on here to see if I see anything. It's got 8 gigs of RAM allocated, which isn't huge, but it should be more than enough for this. 16 megs of video memory. It's got 4 processors allocated to it. So, no, there shouldn't be any kind of hardware issues. Unless just virtualization in and of itself causes problems with DR or something. I don't know. But okay, I mean, at this point, I think I'm just gonna have to shop this out to the wider world and see. Disabling the garbage collect. Okay, how do I do that? Oh, so just GC disable at the end of every tick. Like this? Oh, just the beginning of the main tick. Okay. Not that one. That good? That's what you were asking for? Yeah. Well, I'll only run it as long as I need to see what's happening. Oh. Oh. That seems bad. Oh. Oh, I don't like that. What am I going to do about that? Yeah. FPS on the map was around where it is on the main menu. So let's just... All right. I just want to reproduce that, make sure it wasn't a fluke. Look at this. So disable it, but do a manual start at the end of each one, like this. I mean, that's not fluctuating at all. Holy crap, Levi. First of all, how did you figure that out? Secondly, what? Why is that being that way though? Why do I have to do that? Yeah, same question, sire. Why do I need that? Why is that a thing? Is it because I'm on Linux and its GC is weird, or am I doing something weird in my programming? Yeah, I mean, take the win. I mean, I get the GC is expensive, but that I wouldn't expect it to get progressively worse, because that's a problem. I don't have that many objects. Once the map is shown, it's just one sprite showing up here. I mean, there's not that much going on. I don't even have anything else going on here yet. Maybe, but where? I mean, you saw all the code. That was everything it was doing. I've not gone anywhere beyond the I haven't gone beyond the map display here, map generation. So I mean, yay, great. I'm really happy we got to this point. You guys are the boss, but I don't understand. Hey, Rebuilt, what's going on, man? How do you do memory profiling? Well, I'm not sure in DR, but that's something that I'm going to want to find out, because that's you don't do any memprof? I'm wondering though if Palantir would be helpful in debugging this kind of situation. Because something obviously is stacking up in here and causing the GC to I mean, look, the thing's sitting just at 60. It's not even fluctuating anymore. Something was causing that. I know, right? That's the bomb. Well, we got where I wanted to go today, which is great. We got to 60 FPS with the map showing, and I understand fibers, and we're using fibers. So awesome. You guys are awesome. I still want to understand this GC thing though, because the fact that I have to do this on this tiny little program seems weird. There has to be an explanation for this, because if there wasn't something odd going on here, everybody on the Discord would be bitching about this. So I'm not understanding, and I think it might be good for the community maybe to understand what's happening here. So I think what I'm going to do right now, let's put this up. Yeah, but see, that makes me concerned, Levi, because if DR is doing some kind of weird shit behind the scenes that's causing me this problem here with this little tiny thing, that's not cool. I mean, that's going to be bad, right? That's something we'd want to figure out, I think. Maybe that's just me being anal, but okay, so but lots of learning going on here today. I'm really happy about that. I'm gonna push this. I'm going to merge that into here. All right, so the develop branch is up there now with that stuff. There's no way I'm ever going to figure that out, because I do not know enough about the innards of oh right, yeah, thanks. We'll re-enable that and test that out real quick and push that up. Yeah, yell at Amir for it. Right. Well, I mean, at least now we have a test project where at least in my system I can reproduce this, and I know how to reproduce this. Maybe that'll be helpful for the smart people to figure out, you know, the people that aren't me, to figure out what the hell's going on here. At least we have a reproducible thing now. So that's a happy thing. We did something useful. Woo! Love it. All right, so does this work? Start here. Yes. Boom. And I mean, this whole map gen needs some love, but... And look at that. Son of a bitch. That's staying at 60. Yeah, so that GC... Because this was having the same issues. This map. So that GC is... Yeah, that GC is hosed. And again, I don't... Maybe this has to do with virtualization, or I've got something goofy in my environment, or something like that. I don't know. Yeah, Levi was definitely useful. You found the answer, so thank God you were here, or I'd have been beating my head against the wall for the next several weeks. Levi didn't get lucky. Levi's just freaking smart. But this is... I love doing this stuff live when you guys are here and we can talk through this and collaborate and come up with ideas and try shit, and I love this. I love it. Because Sire got in here and stopped me from making a world of bad things with that where was it? In here with this thing, because that second map would have blown up if we hadn't done this play map. So good on you for catching that. I love doing this stuff when I can have people helping me. I was working on this yesterday and I wasn't nearly as excited because I was by myself doing it. I like that. All right, I'm gonna wow, we went over. I had a lot of fun today, guys. I hope you did too. Thanks for coming and helping out. It was great. I'm gonna push this back up, and before I forget, motivation for my Zelda stuff. Well, live stream it, man. We'll all come and work on it together. But yeah, I'm gonna spend some time here in a little bit, probably later tonight, talking in the Discord and seeing if we can figure this out, because this seems like it's a big problem, but we'll see. It could just be me. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed that. I really appreciate you being here. I had a lot of fun with that. Even though it was a little frustrating for a while, we got an answer, so that's an awesome thing. Yeah, I know. Woo. So this was the beginning of Dragon Ruby month at RDDS. We've got some cool things coming up. Every Tuesday I'm going to be here working on this, and every Thursday we've got cool guests coming on to talk about different DR things all throughout the month of June. I put a full schedule in the general English channel of the Discord, the Dragon Ruby Discord, so you guys can check that out. But next up we've got 68K coming to talk about making his game this Thursday, so that'll be fun. Hope you guys come check that out and come hang out and chat and ask him lots of questions. That way I don't have to. So if you guys enjoyed that, please spread the word. That's the biggest thing you can do to help. We just need some people watching and spreading the word about Dragon Ruby and my little show here, so that we can get more people interested in this. Make sure you like and subscribe, follow if you're on Twitch, all those things are free, don't cost you a dime, and they make me feel all loved and special and warm and fuzzy. So do that. I will see you on Thursday, and until then, happy programming.